NBA All-Star break is coming to an end, which means the second half of the NBA season is right upon us. I'm here to break down the expectations to have for the Miami Heat on this episode of Heat Digest, where we create daily Miami Heat content. So if that interests you, subscribe to the channel, as 91.2% of you guys currently watching are not currently subscribed to the channel, and we are less than 20 subscribers away from 1,000. We appreciate all your support. Let's get to it and break down the news and the expectations for the Miami Heat going into the second half of this NBA season. The first half ended a lot better than it started for the Miami Heat, and the reason being is because a player-led meeting on January 30th, led by Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler as the vocal leaders, really set the tone, it seemed like, going into the All-Star break. The last 8 games of the season, after that meeting, we went 6-2, only losing to the Los Angeles Clippers and the Boston Celtics. The Clipper game was extremely competitive, as was the Boston Celtic game. I believe there should be an asterisk next to this Boston Celtic loss due to the fact that we went into it without Jimmy Butler. In the midst of it, we lost Terry Rozier as well as Josh Richardson, who we have no injury updates for, but the 3 of them, which is unfortunate, and I will get back to you guys when we do have injury updates for them. But as of right now, I'm assuming that Jimmy Butler will be back for our first game against the New Orleans Pelicans on Friday, February 23rd, just 2 days away. Due to the fact that when the injury report came out, it wasn't really an injury. He was taking time away due to a death in the family. Again, thoughts and prayers to Jimmy Butler and his family. But it did say that he was going to miss the Celtic game, which he did miss. And then it said he was going to miss the following 2 games for the Miami Heat, which would have been the Milwaukee Buck game and the 76er game. And then we went into the All-Star break, which is coming to an end now. So, again, I'm assuming he will be back for our first game on Friday against the New Orleans Pelicans, and I really hope he is back due to the fact that, one, the Miami Heat and the role players are, not just the role players, but Bam Adebayo and the whole Miami Heat staff are playing extremely, extremely well right now. It seemed like after the January 30th meeting that everyone was playing extremely hard. Everyone was committed to the challenge on defense. Everyone was accepting and willing on both ends of the floor, and the energy was just so much higher. And again, we only lost to, one, the Boston Celtics, who have had the best record in the entire National Basketball Association really all year long. And we lost 2 of our key players, Josh Richardson and Rozier. And again, we didn't have Jimmy Butler the entirety of that game, and we only lost by 4. It was a free throw game down the stretch, and the Miami Heat just could not convert a last-second shot. It wouldn't have mattered anyway, as we were down 4. And then to the Clippers, another very competitive loss. We lost due to the fact that James Harden made 2 4-point plays in the 4th quarter, and it was just ridiculous. If you watch that game, it still haunts me. I can still see him making those shots. I think he kicked his leg out, but that's for another discussion for another day. Anyway, the Miami Heat need to get off to a hot start for this second half of the season, and it's extremely doable. The New Orleans Pelicans will be on a back-to-back as they play Thursday. We then will play them Friday. Again, they'll be at home as we're on a 4-game road stand to start this second half of the season. But if we're able to play 2 teams in New Orleans and Sacramento who would be both coming off of back-to-backs, coming off of a long All-Star break layover, I think it's very, very doable for the Miami Heat, especially if we do have Jimmy Butler back leading the way. I think things will really come to fruition for this Miami Heat team as things start to really gel going into the All-Star break, going 6-2 in the last 8. Again, the All-Star break is a very, very long break, it seems like, not just from a fan, but from a basketball player. Yes, they get to take that time off, get to heal, rest, do what they need to do to be able to come back and feel 100% for the second half of the season. But again, it is a lot of layaway. They could be coming back feeling sluggish or lazy if they do not do it properly. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how these teams come out, how the Miami Heat will come out. I'm assuming they'll be willing to accept the challenge due to the fact that they're being led by Eric Spoelstra. Jimmy Butler will most likely, if not be in the building, he will be playing. So again, it'll be interesting. We are in the 7th seed. We're tied with the Magic, who have the same exact record at 30-25 as us. But again, half game back from the Indiana Pacers. In the rest of the Eastern Conference, excluding the Cavaliers and the Celtics, they all seem very human. The last 10, a lot of their records are not great. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they're playing without Joel Embiid. They're 3-7 in their last 10. We've beat them going into the All-Star break. For the New York Knicks, they're 5-5 in their last 10. They've lost 4 in a row. And then for the Milwaukee Bucks, who are totally in shambles, 3-7 in their last 10, losers of the last 2. And again, we beat them going into the All-Star break. And that is our 3, 4, and 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. I expect the Miami Heat to not only start hot in this second half of the season, but be able to catch these teams in the Eastern Conference and really move up in the rankings in the Eastern Conference standings. Now, just for a pointer, the first half of the season, through 55 games, we had 29 different lineups, and we were able to produce a 30-25 record. No, it is not world-stopping. It's not a great record. We're not even in the top 6 of the Eastern Conference. But if you told me we had 16 different players record at least one start, and the only 3 players not to record a start were Alondas Williams, who was given a contract, a week, 10 days at most before the All-Star break, who is now on a 2-way contract, a G League pull-up, if you will. Drew Smith, who's been out the entire season with knee injuries, as well as Cole Swider, another 2-way contract guy. Those 3 guys are the only people not to record a Miami Heat start. And obviously, DeLon Wright, who we signed during the All-Star break, obviously doesn't have a start for the Miami Heat. Those are the only people. Those are the only players. 29 different lineups in 55 games for the Miami Heat, and we are still able to win at the rate we do. And again, missing time. We are not playing at full strength. We really haven't played at full strength all year. It seems like with Rozier and Richardson out, again, it's going to be a few weeks until we reach that 100% capacity rate or 100% strength, if you will. But again, Jimmy Butler has missed 18 games. Hero's missed 20 games. And Bam Adebayo has missed 15 games. That is basically our big 3. And not even to mention Jaime Jaquez Jr., who had a groin injury to start the NBA season. He had a groin injury about 2 weeks ago as well, going right before the week before the All-Star break. We have been in shambles from start to finish, going on big losing streaks. And now, right before the All-Star break, it seems like we had got it going right. 6-2, only losing to 2 very dominant teams. And with the schedule we have going into the second half, New Orleans will be on a back-to-back when we play them. Sacramento will be on a back-to-back when we play them. Then we will play Portland, who is a rollover and not great on either end of the floor. We should dominate them. And then again, obviously Denver is not any form of a rollover. They are the returning NBA champions, and it's going to be a tough matchup at their place in Denver. That will be a tough matchup, but that is definitely the hardest game as we come back home and then host the Utah Jazz and the Detroit Pistons. We should win 7 of these 8 games, 7 of these 8 games clearly to start our NBA season. I can't wait to see how it goes for our Miami Heat. Let me know down in the comments what your predictions are for this NBA or this second half of the NBA season for our Miami Heat. I expect us to have a winning record once again in this second half of the season, and I expect us to be, I'll throw out a hot take, I think we will move up to at least the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. That's my early second half predictions for our Miami Heat. Let me know down in the comments, am I crazy? Let me know if you agree. Let me know your predictions as well for this second half of the season. Thanks for watching this episode of Heat Digest. I'll see you on the next one.